قشقانت مغبت يداعت شاميران شلام لخون احنا بتايخ من conventionet آتوراي جو أناهايم اتجي تريدانه convention هلادي فينا وديو اتلانتري أرخوياي سوجل قد إينا شتسانت MesoMatchmaker بشمت إلبرت بابلا وهيلي جورج شلام لخون بنات جيلة لاخويمه شلام لخون عريتم بسيمه قدو جتيفتون منن هم زومتون اتقامت بياي ومنوخن بقرام وقت اتخمنتت MesoMatchmaker قد واقعا it's taken everyone by storm ورابا بيتلمنتيانتا شمو completely ناشي رابا interested قد آتي برنامجون رابا entertaining خزيلة أتخمنتها موجود في لقد تيلال إيتوتا.
First of all, thank you so much. Those are such kind words. So we're so happy to be talking to you today.
So excited, yeah. I think being interviewed with Shamiram Media has been like on our list of things. We're like, hopefully they'll reach out, and here we are.
We're glad we're on the list.
I know, we were like manifested this one. So we're so excited to be here. But this is like a question we got, and our origin story I feel like it's a great one.
It's pretty special.
It's really special. So Elbret and I went on Gishru last year, and just a little bit of background, I think a little about on both of us. I grew up in Connecticut, Farmington, Connecticut. Elbret grew up
I grew up in San Jose, very involved in the Assyrian community, went to all of our Chavnisam parties, New Year's. I'm the vice president of Shotafut Otter in San Jose. So I've been pretty involved my whole life with the Assyrian kind of activities. And then
me, kind of the mirror, right? Growing up in Farmington, Connecticut, I didn't really have a big Assyrian community. I grew up and I went to a pretty white school. I was definitely like, I didn't have any Assyrian friends growing up outside of like my cousins. And I wasn't really involved. So we've always been, you know, I've come to convention and I know people, and Elbret and I have always been convention friends. Hi, how are you? Type of relationship. And we were on Gishru, and for me, Gishru was very impactful in many ways. You know, when I went there, I was really struggling with finding a place of belonging and community. You know, I've been living in Boston for the past 9 years. And again, I was no Assyrians, not a really big community. And all of a sudden I'm on Gishru with 70 other Assyrians under the age of 40. And the first night I remember getting there and I go to Susie and I'm like, I don't really see what the big deal about this trip is. I'm like, I don't know, it's just like the hotel's not really nice.
It's not 5 stars.
Yeah, I was like that. And she was like, you just wait, Hailey. A week rolls by and we went to communities, cultural centers, we went to massacre sites, we were in villages and within our community so deeply, like in our community, and it was so beautiful. And I remember just for me, the way it impacted me was like, I was like, I never want to be away from this. Like, I want to live the rest of my life with our people. I want to marry an Assyrian, right? Living on the East Coast, not having a lot of Assyrians around, it's not an easy thing. And then you have Elbret on the other side of this, you know, and you've grown in the Assyrian community. You are in the Assyrian community and, you know, also has the same goals, right? So creating MesoMatchmaker is really a platform for Assyrians to be able to meet and connect with other Assyrians and to change the conversation about dating within our community. It's something that historically has been there's a lot of shame around dating, you know, there's a lot of people don't want to talk about it. You know, there's a lot of shame. And through MesoMatchmaker, what we're doing is creating these really fun, cool, curated events that are for our community to build and grow our community where people can meet and be like, you know, hey, I'm single. I'm looking for an Assyrian.
And that's okay. You know, it's like, I just want to be open.
It's okay.
Because
inside, that's what you girls and young men and young women really want.
Right.
all it is that you're expressing it outwardly.
Right.
And it's absolutely fine.
And I think people have shied away from that so much. And I have so many friends of different cultures that are so vocal. They're like, I'm of this culture. I want to keep my traditions and culture alive. Can I do it without marrying a Syrian? Sure. But that's something that if I can achieve that goal, I would really appreciate. And so our goal is really to build this community and create more connection points to introduce people that may have not have met otherwise, right? Maybe they didn't grow up in the same community. They're not in the same city. Maybe they don't go to like Assyrian events and they don't just have those touch points, those opportunities to meet one another. And can we create this database to kind of make it easier so that people can form these connections? And I think the coolest part of going through our events too is like seeing how many friendships are made and how many connections are made. And I think that's so special.
Yeah.
So how did you, when you went to, both of you were, I presume, on the same Gishru trip. So how did you two connect with each other? The two of you, I mean, you didn't pick someone else and you didn't pick someone else. The two of you decided to, let's do something. What was that point
On the bus.
That point in time when you decided, let's do this?
It was on a bus, and I was just kind of like talking out loud. And I say to the bus, I'm like, hey, you know, who thinks, we were just talking, I don't know, it just kind of came up.
Just chatting.
Who thinks of dating an Assyrian matchmaking company? Who thinks it's like a cool idea? Half the bus was like, that's silly. Like, no way that's going to get bought in. And the other half was like, we love the idea. And Elbret was sitting right next to me, literally right behind me. She goes, I love that idea. Like, I would do that. And then me and her just started ideating for the rest of the trip. We would sit down in our Google Notes and we were just, what would this look like? What would it be? What would it be?
Yeah, what would it look like? What are the questions? How do we find people? How do we introduce people?
Right.
How do we make this take shape? And I think a lot of people maybe had a similar idea, and obviously we've seen with all these shows online of matchmaking with other cultures, right? Like people do it, and we're like, okay, so we need to take this step and be a little vulnerable and be brave enough to actually bring it to fruition and to make it a reality. And so we
and be the faces of it too. I mean, like that's another really big part of it. Like, is being outward and being like, yep, we're, matchmakers and we're with this goal to like create this community in this space. And it's something that people are so like, oh, that's embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. Like we get that all the time, but we believe in what we're doing. And through that, we really lead with confidence. And what that does is it shows other people like, hey, it's okay. Like we're creating that space and changing that conversation through the way that we're just so open about it, Yeah.
And from the birth of an idea, just a plain idea, to actual implementation, I bet it takes a lot of work.
Oh my God, tell her about that night. Tell her about the night.
Gosh. We're like, okay, like what do we actually do? We need to make a website, right? How do we make a website? I don't know how to make a website. Do you know how to make a website? I don't know. We went to Wix.com. We sat there. We were like Googling. We're using ChatGPT. We're trying to figure out like, what do you do to start a company, to make this website? How do you make a form? What are the right questions to ask? Like for hours we would sit there and be like, okay, is this the right thing? We'd sit on Zoom calls, obviously, because I'm in California, Hailey's in Massachusetts. Like, how do we coordinate this? Like, she's up to like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I need to go to bed. Don't you need to go to bed?
We were like late nights and like building all of it. And we're like, what is this going to look like? What is it going to feel like? And we started out with we had our intake form. We have our intake form, which people can apply. And essentially, Elbret and myself get the matchmaking intake forms. And then we have people and we meet with them individually, and then we go through a database. But it started out free. We were doing free match days for people. And Elbret and I spent,
Weeks.
Hours. I'm talking like so many we spent hundreds of hours.
Okay, what do you each do for a living?
Oh,
I'm sure you were working on the side.
Yeah, so we work full time, right? And I do,
what do you do?
Marketing for health technology startup companies. And so, yeah, it was very time consuming. You would kind of do this as our passion project, but I think it didn't feel difficult. We put in the hours and the late nights because it was so fun.
Fun.
I think we found it so energizing and so important and such a cool opportunity. It's like, what if we did introduce someone to like someone really special and they got married? Like we did that. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have met otherwise. And like that was very encouraging and exciting. And I think we're really optimistic about like potential connections that we could make.
Yeah.
And Hailey, what do you do for a living?
So I have an HR consultancy. So I do fractional HR for small businesses, and
so you have your own company.
Yes, I have my own company. So it's honestly building. I'm exited Like I left corporate. So I lost my job actually 6 months ago. That's what happened. It was like 7 months ago. And it was at this like precipice, and I ended up creating my own HR consultancy, which has been like such an incredible gift, and I love doing it. And then also we're doing MesoMatchmaker, and it's so interesting to like see this like shift, because before when I was working corporate, you know, we were like building MesoMatchmaker, and it was so fun, and it was like this outlet. And now I'm building these two businesses, which has just been like such an interesting journey.
Two different time zones.
Two different time zones.
And a lot of work to do.
A lot of work to do.
And doing this on the side, was there a time when you said, you know what, it's a good idea, but maybe it's too much work. Can we do it next year? Was there a time that you said, sigh, it's too much work and let's not do it?
I think it is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work and can be really challenging. And I think when it's the most difficult when we do consider, like, do we keep kind of going on, is when people don't, I think, respond and like take their matches seriously. And we're like, okay, then why are we kind of doing this if, like, you know, people aren't taking that step? And
I mean, a lot of people, it's really interesting. I mean, like, you get a lot of people who think that they're too cool for it, or like too good for it. They don't need a matchmaker. They don't need MesoMatchmaker. You know what I mean? And they don't take it seriously. And, you know, a lot of people that we meet with, they're very judgmental. You know, they're very judgmental of other profiles. And it's interesting, the dynamics of like what people bring to the table, right? And then what they're judging is so interesting. And we have to be very honest with our people that apply, and we're like, you're being a little too like judgmental. Like, that's not right. How would you like if somebody was judging you the way that you're judging this person? Right? So there's a lot of ego in matchmaking, which makes it very difficult. You're dealing with the human emotion and the human condition, which there's a lot of variables involved in that. And we're managing those expectations. We're managing those emotions. People come up to us and they're like, this person ghosted me. And I'm like, people do these things, you know?
You even do it during a regular dating.
Exactly. Or someone's like, hey, we're traveling back and forth and we're dating and things are working out or things are going well. So there's so many different variables that are involved in a matchmaking service, but it's honestly, I think outside of the matchmaking, a lot of the social events have really been what has been really a beautiful part of MesoMatchmaker.
So you have the matchmaking on one end of your, I think you have an LLC, right?
Yes, we're a business.
You're a business. So you have a matchmaking business.
So we have
on
a service,
one side,
yes.
a service. And then you have the social events when it's like the dating game on the TV back in the day when we had the dating game. So out of all these, have you had any successes? Any marriages yet?
Not yet, not marriages, but it has been really encouraging to hear that people have actually met people. They've gone on dates. Some people have flown to other states to meet with their match and to spend some time and really put effort and see if this could potentially work out long term.
Yeah.
Which is
Plus, you're a young company, right?
Yes.
You just started when?
Like a year ago.
So you can't expect, we don't want marriages that fast. So they'll be coming. The marriages will be coming soon.
They're going to be coming. I think the reality of it is that we're really trying to figure out how matchmaking is going to continue to kind of fit into MesoMatchmaker, just because from a band, I mean, we were doing it, you know, we've matched hundreds of people, you know, and it's a lot of work. And there's, like I said, a lot of variables involved in just dealing with people, right? And I think what we're seeing so much excitement and success around is our gatherings, our social gatherings that we're putting together, because that's really where we're giving people the opportunity to come, not at a wedding where we're all dancing and or not at church, right? It's a neutral third place. It's a neutral third way to build community within our Assyrian community. And it's cool, and it's curated, and it's fun, and it's light, and people are talking, and they're and they're excited, you know? We had a mom's event last night that was really fun.
That was really cool. And I think we really enjoy making these spaces where people wouldn't meet each other necessarily.
Yeah, and it wasn't for
on their
single
own.
moms.
Yeah.
It was just for moms within our communities to come and hang out and meet each other.
It's really nice.
You know?
We haven't had that in the
Yeah.
past conventions.
I mean-
this is what you did the first time. It's
Yeah.
not even matchmaking. It's just
No,
matching
it's
moms
just-
together.
It's
It
just
was a
building
co-
community.
it was
It's just making those friendships, building those
Exactly.
connections, and all these moms are meeting each other. It's like, oh, I have kids the same age. Where do you live? Like, amazing. We should, find the kids at the convention and bring them together so they can hang out and have more Assyrian friends. And
Yeah.
I think that's so special, and I think it gives us a lot
It
of
is,
energy.
and the face of convention is changing. It
Right.
used to be songs and dances, maybe pool. Now it's a lot of activities.
A lot.
and
There's been a
it's,
lot of investment, and the team's doing an incredible job of
Yeah.
really being thoughtful about putting together some programming
Yes.
that people are really excited about.
Let me ask you something. Meso, I presume, comes from the word Mesopotamia or Mesopotamian. Did you go through many changes and names, thinking about what should we name this? What were some of the names that you decided against?
Oh
And
my God, I
came
wish I
up
had a
with this?
list. MesoMatchmaker came and it was like we liked it.
Yeah, we
Like,
liked it pretty quickly.
We liked it pretty quickly because with MesoMatchmaker, there's such a brand underneath it that we could really, there's so much opportunity for us to build and expand under like just Meso, right? And it's quick. It's like, oh, I'm going to a Meso event, Meso. And it's something
It's short,
different.
brief, but you know what it's all about.
You know what it's all about.
Mesopotamia.
Exactly.
Do you know in your inventory of people how many people you have?
How many do we have?
Hundreds. We have
Hundreds.
probably like
I think
500.
500-ish people.
500 singles
Around
from
the
all
world.
over the world. We're global.
Yeah.
We're
Do you
global.
have age limits?
Nope.
No.
So you can match older people?
Yes.
As
Of
well?
course, yeah.
Over 21. So we
Over
don't.
21.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
over
match.
21,
We don't
yeah.
match under 21. But we
The
have.
reason is?
It's just we don't feel comfortable. They're not ready. We want to work
Mature.
with
You
people
want-
with
you're looking for
maturity.
mature.
Because we want
Yeah.
people that take it very seriously. And
Yeah.
I think that's why some people do. They're very vulnerable, right? These people are giving us all of their information, and what they want, and they dig really deep. And our questionnaire is pretty detailed and kind of forces you to reflect a little bit on like what you're about and what you're looking for. And that can be really challenging. It would be challenging for me if I was filling it out, right? I'm like, who are these
21
girls?
is young. Honestly, even 21 is young. Like it really is. Like we find them. I mean, with maturity, when we're dealing with, especially late 20s, 30s, there's just such a much more sense of self,
Yeah.
which makes it
Knowing what
much
you're
yeah.
about.
Because last thing I want to hear when I'm talking to somebody, and then we're talking and matching. What are you looking for? A nice person. Okay. Like
Not very
hardworking.
descriptive.
Yeah, there's when we're dealing with people who are a little bit more older, a little bit more touch with self, they're able to give us so much more because they know themselves.
Because they've worked
more.
on themselves more,
Exactly.
and they've thought about it. And
Yeah.
it's not just like, oh, I want a nice guy,
A
so
nice
I can
guy, an
get married
honest
tomorrow.
guy, or I want to. It just we want depth. We want what are you all about? Who are you? That is
And are you being intentional when you date? It's not just, you're
Yeah.
just doing it to pass the time.
And that's the hardest question to answer is like, who are you? Tell me about yourself. I mean, we sit with interview people all the time and like, they cannot articulate who they are. And when you don't know who you are, how are we supposed to match you with somebody?
It's true.
When you
Who's
have,
the oldest person that you
In their
currently have?
60s.
yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes.
We have people in their 60s.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Because people think marriage is only for younger people.
No.
Marriage could be for older people, second marriages,
We have
third
widowed
marriages.
people. We have divorced people, of course. We have widowed people. It's not by choice that they're single, and they take that step, and they're like, I would really love to find
Actually,
someone.
it's harder for an older people to find a match,
Yeah.
a mate, than for younger people.
I would love to have this, it would be amazing if we could create, even if it was socials for like nanas and babas, right? Because
course.
think, you know what? They
Friendships.
friendships. So a lot of widowed or widowers, and it's like to give them community around other Assyrians that, making new. Who knows?
We need to have desukave.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring it.
amazing.
My nana used to have that desukave, and they'd all take turns going to people's houses. It was the cutest thing.
Like there's so much beauty and opportunity in building and creating communities. What MesoMatchmaker is here to do is to create a platform to really build communities in 2025, right? Within our Assyrian community, we've been doing a lot of stuff, and it's been a lot of the same stuff for a very long time, right? And the reality of it is that you're seeing what that's going to create is a disengaged community, disengaged youth, right? But creating platforms and spaces for us to really gather and be together.
I think it helps like attract like people that don't come to like the same old types of events, because they're like, some people don't like to dance. Like, I don't know how it happen. I don't want to go to a big party. That's not my scene. I don't want to hang out with 700 people. I don't want to come to 2,400 people convention. They should though, and that's not their jam. And so when we create these like smaller 150, 200 person events where they just get to laugh a little bit and hang out and ideally make new connections and make new friends and maybe meet someone special.
Yes. And
Thank you.
Tell how amazing was that was my favorite show was LA.
LA was so wonderful. First of all, the venue was very unusual, exotic and different. And you had drinks, you had appetizers, you had pizza people could get. And then I think you can't even predict the outcome because it's so organic. And it's I guess every show is different because you don't know what people's responses are.
We don't know what they're going to say.
You don't know what they're going to say, how they're going to react. And it was the LA one was amazing. And I hope you take the show on the road and have it in different places where there are a lot of Assyrians.
Yeah.
My question to you is, how does the matching process go? How is it determined? Do you use a software? Do you use your own analytical abilities? How do you do that?
Good old traditional matchmaking.
Yeah, so we look at people and say, okay, we're going to work on this person now, and we look at our database and we filter, right? And there's certain things that people share, like, okay, these are like my age preferences, this is where I live, I don't want to move, right? Some people are more flexible in where they can move, some people are not, and so we try to take those into consideration and figure out, okay, how can we narrow down our database into matches that make sense for this person? Then we kind of evaluate them. We go through their photos, we consider like if we've met them in person, when we last talked to them, okay, do we think like their energy would kind of match? Are they in the same place in life? Are they gonna like vibe together? And then with that, we'll say, okay, this sounds good. We'll hop on a call with our premium member and then show them their matches and say, out of our database, we think these two will be, good matches for you. And they're like, okay, great, which one do you like better? We're like, okay, this is why maybe this one you should start out with. And then we do an email introduction.
But you have 500 people. You can't possibly look at everyone's application and try to match it.
Oh, we do.
You look at all 500.
Yes.
What if you grow to 5,000? What are you going to do then?
Then we have to find a more scalable process.
We are actively working with, we have a business coach that we're working with, and we're really working and focusing on like the future of MesoMatchmaker. Because I think when we started this, we had no idea. We had no idea. I thought nobody was going to remember this.
I thought our shows were going to be 20, 30 people.
Yeah.
And that would be a win for us because at least we brought those 20, 30 people together and they laughed and they enjoyed themselves and they got out of the house and, they saw other Assyrians, which is so fun too.
Right.
How did the convention take you? You just presented the idea it was last year in
last
Orlando,
year.
Florida.
It was last
when
year.
the first one was.
Yeah.
The thought process was we were like, we want to do something where we bring people together, but we don't want to do a singles mixer because no one's going to come to a singles mixer.
Yeah.
So we're like, how can we create some comedic relief where the spotlight's not on people, but we're talking about it? And we're like, a blind dating show. And honest God, we sold like 500 tickets last year.
Oh, it was a full house.
It was a full house.
And then you had the comedy show. Later, it just was a big hit, in my opinion. We all laughed. We all had fun. And I really admired the young people who came, and the 3 girls and 3 boys.
Yes, our contestants are incredible.
You present a lot of vulnerability.
Of course.
You don't know what answers, what questions. Do you give the questions?
We do.
We do give the questions beforehand now. We weren't in the beginning though. So
that convention show, they had no idea what we were going to ask. They didn't know what it was going to be.
Yeah.
We'd never done it before. They've never done it before. So we're very, very grateful that they trusted us and they allowed us to put them there and ask them some questions and make some matches. And everyone, I think, had really positive things to say about participating, which was really lovely.
Yeah,
we want to make sure that everyone is, we're respectful of everyone and, they have fun and everyone who attends has a good time.
Our goal is to have our contestants walk away feeling really good about themselves, and we want them to be the hot catches of the show or the convention, our goal isn't to embarrass anybody, and people get so nervous and we see it up on stage where they want to be so restricted about their answers or so, in the box about their answers. But the reality is people want to know your authentic self. I don't care about the textbook answers that you think everyone is going to love because it's so boring. I want to know, again, tell me about yourself. Who are you? What are the cool things? What are your quirks? What's fun about you? That's the person people fall in love with. That's how you're going to find a partner, when you're authentically yourself, even up on stage.
Very true.
You know?
But I must admit, and I must tell you and compliment you, that a big part of your success during the actual live dating shows that you've put on is you two's fun, upbeat personalities. Just look at you, how you speak, energetic, fun. You're part of the fun yourself. You're part of a big part of the show. So I must say kudos to both of you.
Thank you.
Now, if a young man or a young woman or an older woman and an older man want to have a match, an Assyrian match, does it have to be Assyrian, by the way?
Everyone in our community is Assyrian, so we're for Assyrian, Chaldean, Syriac. If you identify under that umbrella, then MesoMatchmaker is for you.
Okay,
Yes.
What if an American guy wants to meet an Assyrian
We've had
girl?
people ask, and they're like, I really love Assyrians and I want to meet one. We're like, we're not the service for you at this
And
time.
they are more than
not at
happy.
this time.
They
Yeah.
can absolutely, anybody can apply. But the reality is that our clients want to be matched with other Assyrians. And this is an Assyrian matchmaking platform. So if you identify as Assyrian, MesoMatchmaker is for you.
And there's a lot of platforms that cater to non-Assyrian people,
Exactly.
right? And they are welcome to, probably those are more up their alley.
So when you have these applicants, where do they go to apply to be matchmade?
They go to our website, so MesoMatchmaker.com, and there's a link there to fill out your intake form and then apply. And then we review it, we schedule some time with you, and then kind of take it from there.
How long is that review process? How long does it take you to review their applications and get back to them?
It varies kind of depending on our availability because this isn't our full-time job, but usually about a week or so.
What is a bigger goal that you have?
I mean, I think, we're continuing to evolve and grow. If MesoMatchmaker stayed exactly the way it was from day one, I mean, the beauty of what we're doing is that it can evolve and it can grow. And I think we're seeing, like, we had our Meso Moms event last night, which was a great way for moms to be able to connect. Tonight we have Sips and Skewers under Meso Friends. So this is essentially an opportunity for people to come. Anyone is able to come. There's no age range, but to come and just socialize. We're gonna have a DJ, we're gonna have appetizers, we're gonna have a bar. A cool, new, curated way for our community to connect that's not loud music and khigya and dancing, which we all love, but something different's nice. There's so much opportunity, whether it's professionally, whether it's through friends, whether it's through, parents, to continue to build community. And I think through that and our shows will always be creating spaces for singles within our community, but we want to continue to grow these niche platforms and spaces for like our community to mix and meet and have fun and do something cool. Again, like they feel like
And
they're
do
going to
something
like
different, yeah.
like it's not the same Assyrian
Totally. We
party.
really want to produce kind of high quality events because our people deserve it. And it
Yes.
shouldn't be boring and it shouldn't be, unimaginative. And so we're trying to bring some spice and some pizzazz and some positive energy around cool new
Yes.
places and activities.
So what I'm hearing is that it's a work in progress.
Yes.
You don't know where you're going to go, but you're constantly thinking about where to take your organization,
Right.
MesoMatchmaker.
Yes.
Well, I am so proud of you. And I also want to thank the convention officials who have allowed you and have given you space to do what you want. And to use your creativity, your new ideas and wonderful ideas with fantastic vision and strategies. I want to thank both of you who have taken time from the fun at the convention to meet us and sit down with Shamiram Media.
Well,
Thank
we
you
are
so
so
much to
honored.
both of
Thank
you.
you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.